Juan Gonzalez was one of the best power right-handed hitters of the 90s. Playing in a steroid era, that era was, I mean, whether you like it or not, that era produced a lot of great hitters, pitchers. It was just an amazing time for baseball. Amazing era for baseball. Juan Gonzalez nowadays, it feels like he's forgotten to a certain extent. That's my opinion. He won two AL MVPs. Most people think that they were undeserving. I will give you my opinion on that shortly. So the question is, have we forgotten about the Puerto Rican ball player, one of the best right-handed hitters of the 90s, in Juan Gonzalez? Juan Gonzalez was born in 1969 in Puerto Rico. He made his debut on September 1st, 1989, and this was shortly before turning 20 years old. He made his debut at the age of 19, and he played for Texas, Detroit, Cleveland, Kansas City, but he's mostly known for his time with the Texas Rangers. His first three seasons with the Rangers, I would say there were some ups and downs. I mean, in his third season, in the 91 season, he hit 27 home runs and 102 RBIs. But it wasn't until 1992 where he started to become the talk of the town. Texas, him playing for a small market team and him having a quiet personality, it makes it understandable why he doesn't get talked as much or he's forgotten nowadays. But 1992 was the year where he started to make strides. At the age of 22, he hit 43 home runs, 109 RBIs, batting 260, 833 OPS. So that was the beginning of many great things to come. But then 1993 happened. 1993, he made his first All-Star team. He finished fourth in MVP. He hit 46 home runs, 118 RBIs, a career-high 632 slugging percentage, a 1,000 OPS. That season, what I remember about Gonzalez about that season is the home run derby battle between him and Ken Griffey Jr. at Camden Yards. He eventually lost to Griffey, but it was a very fun and interesting competition that year at Camden. I've been to Camden Yards. I love that ballpark. I can't wait to go back there again. That right field, man. That right field is a beauty. After 93, it was interesting because in 94 and 1995, he slowed down. He didn't hit as many home runs. I think he was going through some issues in his personal life. He also had a strike in 94. Injuries as well play a factor. Injuries has been a huge part of Juan Gonzalez's career. If it wasn't for injuries, he probably could have been a Hall of Famer, even though there were accusations and his name being thrown out there that he was one of those ball players that got juiced in the 90s. But I firmly believe that if it wasn't for the injuries, he would have had so much way better numbers. So after a down season, 94, 95, 1996. 1996 was the year where he led the Rangers to the playoffs. He had help. He had Ivan Rodriguez, Rafael Palmeiro, Rusty Greer. So he was surrounded by talent. They made the playoffs that year. He hit 47 home runs, 144 RBIs. Mind you, he did not receive an all-star selection that year. This was the first of two AL MVPs that he won, in which many felt that he got robbed. And I don't disagree, because I personally feel that Alex Rodriguez should have won that year. If you look at his stats, it's better than Juan Gonzalez. But the thing is, Texas made the playoffs that year. Seattle didn't. So I feel that that played a factor in it. But it's weird, because we have seen in baseball that players have won league MVP, but they didn't make the playoffs. So I don't know. It's some inconsistency with that. Texas will lose in 4 games of the divisional series against the Yankees. But in that series, Juan Gonzalez, he hit home runs in all 4 games. I think he had 5 home runs in total. If there was an MVP for the division series, no matter who wins or loses, Juan Gonzalez was the best player in that series for both teams. He was that good and that sensational in that playoff series. 1998, he hit, by the time it was the All-Star break, he reached 100 RBIs. He reached 100 RBIs in a game. I remember that it was a Sunday night game. I didn't see it when it happened, but thanks to YouTube, I saw it. It was a game against the Seattle Mariners, in which he hit it to center field, challenging Ken Griffey. Ken Griffey couldn't get to it, and that home run led to him reaching 100 RBIs, and it was a Sunday night baseball game. Oh, good old 90s baseball and ESPN. But anyways, he won the AL MVP that year for the second time. He finished the season with 46 home runs, 157 RBIs, which is career high. He batted .318. He had a .997 OPS. 1999, he also had a good year, 39 home runs, 128 RBIs. The Texas Rangers, they made the postseason 96, 98, 99, but all of those they lost to the Yankees. And he never got out of the first round. He never got out of the division series. That's another thing about Gonzalez. He got traded to Detroit in 2000. That didn't pan out so well. Then he went to Cleveland in 2001, which that's where he had a bounce back season. 35 home runs, 140 RBIs. He finished 5th in the MVP voting. I remember that performance that year by Gonzalez. He was great. I remember him hitting a home run in Game 3 of the division series against the Mariners. But they lost to the Mariners in the division series. But like I said, injuries has been a huge factor in his career. He was hurt in 2000, somewhere in the 90s as well. 2002 when he went back to Texas. So injuries, he dealt with back injuries, calf injuries. The list goes on and on. But I would say that Juan Gonzalez in In 8 of his 17 years playing in baseball, he was in the MVP race. 92, 93, 96, 97, 98, 99, and 2001. Those were all seasons where he was in the MVP conversation. No matter if it was top 5, top 10, or top 20, he was in it. Although he's not a Hall of Famer, but in many people's eyes, he is a Hall of Famer. In my opinion, he's a Hall of Famer. He finished his career with 434 home runs. And like I said, had he stayed healthy throughout his career, he would have had so much more. He also had 1,936 hits. Again, a healthy Juan Gonzalez, he could have had much better stats. But we have to appreciate what he did, especially in those late 90s with those Rangers teams. Those were phenomenal seasons. Steroids or not, he was phenomenal. I know that the Texas owner, Tom Hicks, I believe that's his name, he was one of those people, including Juan Canseco, that believed that he was on steroids. He was using something. But I don't know. Like I said, MLB doesn't always get it right. I'm sure that there are players who are in Cooperstown that they have used something and they know it. So like I said, is lack of consistency with many things that MLB does. But salute to Juan Gonzalez and what he accomplished in the majors. And, this is a reminder of what a prolific hitter he was when he was healthy and during his prime.